This is very much along the same kind of line. It's not as spooky as the title would proclaim. Oh well. By the way, if you're looking for real black magic and the secrets of the, you're not going to find them in there. Sorry. Now here's another one I like. Cassandra Easton wrote this, Everyday Psychic Defense. This is definitely going into our black section, the Defense Against the Dark Arts section. Yeah, enough said about that. It's really self-explanatory. Ooh, it's so pretty. This is a book called Mandala. Just in case you couldn't read, I had to state the blatantly obvious. The cool thing is it has a CD with inspiring meditations set to music. So it's got some guided meditations with it. But it's all about utilizing mandalas as a sense of focus, as a meditative activity, and as a tool to explore deeper within the self. Now, exactly how does that work? Not something I can explain in about 30 or 40 seconds. Just suffice it to say, if you want to know more, come take a look at the book. Browse through it before you buy it. Sorry. Modern Tantra. Now, for those of you who understand what Tantra is, no, we're not just talking about getting the Kundalini snake on. No, what we're talking about is just Tantric practice in period. Now, am I a scholar of Tantra? Nope, no, I'm not. But Donald Michael Craig is. I adore him. You may recognize the name and be wondering, where the heck do I know him from? You may remember him from what used to be 11 lessons in High Magic, Modern Magic, that eventually became Modern Magic, 12 lessons in High Magic. He is an awesome writer when it comes to high magical practice. So I look very much forward to reading this. That is, if I get a chance to before somebody else snags it up. Speaking of hoary old texts, and when I say hoary, by the way, I'm, big spooky, that's what I'm referring to. Welcome to the Magick, a complete system of occult philosophy. This is another one. It was said to be written, if I recall, by Francis Barrett? Yeah, well, actually, this is the original Francis Barrett. Yeehaw! He was an initiate of a few different occult orders, if I recall. But a lot of it is his own drawings, his own charts. If you have made a study of magical grimoires, a lot of this is going to look familiar, but you will also find some stuff which you likely have not seen before. So don't completely discount it because you recognize in the first section some of the sigils. It goes a lot more in depth into ceremonial magic and a few other subjects. So definitely give it a browse, see if it's for you. This one's called From the Cauldron Born, and it doesn't, the title really doesn't do it a great deal of justice. Some of them have really self-explanatory titles, this one not so much. Essentially, it's all about Welsh legend and lore. Pretty much their methods and ways. If you know the House of Lear or the House of Dawn, then this will be interesting to you. I do warn you that Welsh is phenomenal at making words that look thoroughly unpronounceable and sound entirely different than you might ever sound them out to be. That's Welsh for you. It's delightful. It's awesome that way. You'll also probably, I mentioned, given the Welsh origins, you're probably going to find stuff which will kind of smell a bit to experienced practitioners of Druidry. The reasons for that are long and involved. Not getting into it now. Now some of my basics on pendulum use have sold. This is the Essential Dowsing Guide. It's all about using what is probably one of the most ancient forms of divination, the crossing of the sticks, dowsing, to find many different things. Dowsing can be used for a lot. It's not just used for water, and it's not just used for finding gold. Garden of Pomegranates. Now, Garden of Pomegranates, you're like, it's a book about gardening pomegranates? No. It's written by Israel Regarding, and it's all about scrying on the Tree of Life. And for those of you who are familiar with ceremonial magic, the Tree of Life is a philosophical and magical construct, and not necessarily of man's making. This is looking at the symbolism and utilizing it in scrying magic and in self-understanding. essentially think of it as a guided meditation or a guide to meditations on the 32 paths moving through the Tree of Life. You can barely see it in the background. This one doesn't do it justice, but don't worry. I have a good example for what the Tree of Life looks like. In Beyond Fortunes, the Mystical Kabbalah. Boo! That big colorful thing with the dots and the lines leading between them, that is the construct of the Tree of Life. And this goes into the Kabbalah, linking broad elements of Jewish traditional thought and mysticism with Eastern and Western magical philosophy. Chinese Astrology by Jonathan D. It's just a very quick, very basic introduction. I know that it claims it's the only book that you will ever need. You need no other books. Quickly, put down that first aid book. You don't need it. You only need this one. No, you need other books. And this one, it's just the basics. It really is just the basics. Anyway, that's another box done. 2 down, 6 to go. Let me grab another one. Oh, wow. That one's heavy. Ooh. There's a few book sets in these boxes that are expensive, but they're gorgeous and amazing. And with luck, the weight of this means that there's one hiding in there. Actually, you know what? Rather than making this really long, why don't we take a quick break and I'll come back and open this box up in the next video. Thank you for sticking with me, and hopefully you won't hate me by the end of box number 8.